To our guest speaker, Engineer Pantinosayo. To our Deputy Representative, Attorney Jose Maria Didoza. To our School Directress, Mama Kiling P. Ascalon. To our Vice President, Board of Trustees, Mr. Oscar P. Ascalon. To our Principal, Mr. Victor M. Salarde. To our school's accountant, Ma'am Susana G. Escamilla. To our guidance counselor, Ms. Alicia G. Ureta. To our honored guests, faculty and staff, parents, friends, and to you, my fellow completers, a pleasant afternoon to one and all. But first, before I begin with my speech, you want to know a secret? A secret on how to make it to the top list of with high honors? You want to know? Okay. Well, I study until 1 a.m. Do you believe that? Do you believe in that? I study until 1 a.m. But actually, it only happened in my dream. Because at exactly 10 a.m., I am already asleep. With my face kissing my science book. And then 20 minutes later, you can see my saliva dripping out from my mouth and it goes into my to my science book. Because I know that they can smell something else. Yes. And do you know the reason why I studied my book that night? It is because I knew I predicted in the deepest core of my mind that Mama Scolino will be giving a surprise quiz tomorrow. So, can you relate? Yes, and I guess that's true. So you have to study in advance, like you're in an earthquake drill. Because you do not know when the earthquake will strike, right? So you have to prepare in advance. That's true. Masculino, please. Don't worry, Mom. You are the Bida of my speech right now. So, let's get serious. Life is like a battle, and we are the warriors in our own battlefield. Do you believe in that? Life is a battle full of challenges, and we are the warriors. Well, if you don't believe in that, allow me to ask you life-related questions. Have you ever experienced to be knocked down by struggles, challenges, or even failures in any aspects of your life that made you cry silently at the darkest corner of your room? Does it make you feel like giving up? But despite of all the tears, pains, hardship and struggles, you still refuse to give up because you always think that you have more reasons to carry on and to keep fighting than the reasons to raise your flag and just simply say, I give up. Have you ever failed in math or science exam or any exams in your life for several times but you still choose not to quit learning despite the repeated failures because you believe little by little, by learning from those failures, you can be better than you were before? How many times have you kept a positive outlook in life despite of the storms you're facing right now? How many times have you kept on fighting your own battle even though it seems like you're losing? You see, each and one of us is fighting a battle that we do not know. We are in constant battle with our fears, self-doubts, failures and challenges, but it depends on us if we choose to run away from those like a coward or dare to face them, learn from failures and be victorious at the end. And always remember, in life, it doesn't matter how many times we fall. What matters is how many times we rise back, show up, and fight back again, but a little bit stronger and wiser than we were yesterday. Allow me to tell you a real life story of mine. It only happened this year. It was on Thursday, January 10, 2019, when we took our exam for the sixth departmental examination. I was in the rush to finish my AP exam because it was about the time and I still have so many unanswered items. Minutes later, the bell rang. I asked our proctor if I could have more time to finish my exam and she allowed me. I kept on answering my test and I was so focused that I had already consumed my whole vacant period answering my AP test, a vacant period that was supposed to be spent for my science test review. It took me almost 2 periods to finish that exam that I had failed to study for my next test, which is my science test. The bell had already rung for our science exam. And because I was so afraid that I might get the lowest score for a very shallow reason, I was deciding not to take my exam. I was unprepared, full of doubts, and I had a fear of failure. I thought taking my exam next week would be a great idea so that I can have my time for my science review on the weekend. So I finally decided not to take my exam. Instead, I roamed around campus for a haircut inspection of boys because I was on the duty that day. I never knew that I had already failed the test because moments later, Ma'am Mascalino, our science teacher, saw me doing other things and not taking my science exam. And she did not like what she saw. And so she approached me, asking Mandy why I was in my room assignment taking my science exam. And in that very moment, I knew I was doomed. I tried to explain my reasons to her, but I guess she was right. My reason behind why I did not take my exam was very shallow and inconsiderable. Unpreparedness was never a considerable reason not to take an exam because it was my fault in the first place. Perhaps I was just very afraid to try and fail, but little did I know that having a fear of failure was the thing that had led me to a real life failure, a very remarkable failure. And so Mama Scolina did not allow me to have a special exam because my reason indeed was unacceptable. I was marked 0 in my 6th departmental science exam, and that was the most regretful thing I had done. I was just wondering what would be my score if ever I took my science exam. Perhaps the test wasn't that hard, or perhaps I might get a passing score. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm sharing this right now to you, because this failure had made me realize so much in life. I wouldn't be standing right here in front of you if not because of this significant failure. And now, I am thanking Ma'am Mascolino for not giving me consideration that time because instead of consideration, she left a room for me to realize that I must dare to be daring if I'm not prepared. I must take risk in facing uncertainties in life. I had learned how to manage my time well in order to avoid the same mistake. And so, in our final exam last month, I finished and passed my entire test on time because of that failure learned. I had learned to transform my failures into lesson. And that's the lesson that I will always bring wherever I go. A battle won because a warrior managed to defeat the mindset of failing to fail. So Mama Scalino, thank you so much, ma'am. A as well as to Ma'am Oreta and Mr. Mahinay, where is he? Mr. Mahinay, for making me realize such failure. Man, you've been the leader of my speech. We entered this portal of battlefield, our alma mater, young and innocent. As young warriors, there were so many battles ahead of us waiting to be unfolded in this battlefield of education, as it prepares us for the greater battles that we may face tomorrow. Young and naive as we were back in our freshman year, we're in need of immense guidance and enlightenment from our mentors, our teachers. We started to adopt new environments as well as new faces that we will be living with for almost 4 years. And I could still remember the ambiguous but cute face of Nori back then. Nora, please. The battle during that phase was calm and gentle as our alma mater prepares our young minds and hearts for the toughest one to come. As years passed by, it gets tougher and harder, but we get stronger and wiser as well. Our potentials get tapped, our hidden abilities have been given an importance to be enhanced and recognized. Some of us never thought that they can write poetically. Some of us had overcome the fear of public speaking. Miss Joy May. And some of us never thought that they can lead. We have discovered ourselves even deeper in this institution. Another important thing is we grow not just in our intellectual aspect, but in values and character as well. We never even thought that we could survive after 64 exams we took within 4 years, right? Before we become the masters in our own selves, in our own battle, there's still a long way to go. We must keep in mind that we somehow cannot learn without failing after we try. Well, at least we've tried. No progress if we're not willing to get through hardship. And there's no empowerment for us to keep moving if we will not look at difficulties as our opportunity to be better than we used to. Right? We cannot succeed if we are not willing to take what it takes to be successful. In other words, we must pay the price. We must not be afraid to fail. Because the very purpose of the hardship, challenges, and failure we face are meant to shape and train us to become better warriors of our tomorrow's battle. And always keep in mind that He sometimes put Goliath in our lives to bring David out within us. In other words, He gives His hardest battles to His strongest warriors. And He always does that with a purpose. And of course, as a part of our high school life, here comes this crazy and happy, wild and weird, as well as the melancholic moments that we shared to one another for the last 4 years. Together with our dearest teachers with their famous lines like, "What can I do for the ticket do for me?" Or that crisscross method. Ma'am, you're very remarkable one, okay? No, just to warm up our afternoon, okay? Okay, let's get over, okay na? Move on that. Now, in this battle of mine, being your FISSG president, a band leader, and a safety officer is the most challenging battle I had faced. If I had to look back 10 months ago, I can see myself crying on my study table because things didn't go the way I wanted in our organization. I can see myself facing the mirror, having a chat with myself, a crazy young lady, asking for advices because I knew that the answers to my questions can only be found within myself. And I can see myself kneeling down in front of my table, praying for His guidance as I lead and do my best in serving my fellow Ifians. But now, I see myself as a grown-up, responsible, humble, and God-fearing individual, and fine as well. Because of the things I went through. How about you? How did you see yourself months ago? And what have you become? It has been a tough battle of mine, and of course yours as well. And we surely cannot survive without the one and the people who have been there to go with us through thick and thin, who stayed during our lowest and who accepted and loved us unconditionally. But before I proceed in expressing my gratitude to those people who made my life and journey wonderful, I would like to ask for a moment with you, my fellow completers, to please stand up. Yes, for a moment. And I would like you to face your parents. Look at your parents, where your parents are. Okay. So as you look at your parents, they are the reason why you are here right now. We are the reason why you are successful, and you are the reason, they are the reason of who you are today. So let's give them a round of applause to our proud parents. And to the parents, congratulations. For a moment, please, remain standing, okay? And now here in front, I would ask a moment with you to look at our faculty and staff, to our school administrators. It was all because of them. Another reason why we are here. They've been one of the toughest warriors we knew because they still choose to nurture us, even though they are facing a battle in their own lives. So let's give them a round of applause as well. So thank you so much for your active cooperation. So allow me to express my gratitude to the one and to the people who made my life wonderful. First and above all, to the one whom I surrendered my all, who has been my refuge in times of trouble, to which I lay my very soul, to the one who loved us immeasurably and to whom I offer this victory. For without him, I'm nothing. To our Almighty Father, thank you, O Lord, for you have never left nor forsaken me as well as my fellow warriors in facing the raging storms in our lives. To the people I love next to God, my family. To my Mama Roj and Mama Doris. Ma, please stand up. Yes. They're the women behind every success I attained in life. It is because of their unconditional love and sacrifices that had inspired me to strive more. Remain standing, man. You know, once I cracked a joke. Okay, listen. You know, once I cracked a joke on my mama while we're calling on phone. Well, not really a funny joke. I told her, Ma, may ba ko blessing, Ma? Wala naman din. Ma, hindi ka makakig, Ma. Hindi na bala ako maangkat ko sa amon, Ma. Gano'n mo ko gyapon, Ma. And then she said, syempre naman anak, ano mo ba na? Basta ano mapop sa eskwela, we still love you, basta hindi ka lang mag-review. And then hanggang sa galing ko, of course! Ang malaki kasi but as a matter of fact, at that very moment, it brought me into tears. Knowing that I have nothing to lose. It's because I have the most amazing, wonderful, any adjectives that could describe my mother as the best mother in the whole world. And because of that, I knew that she deserved more. And so I strive harder. Ma, this is for you, Ma. But when I cracked a joke to my grandmother, Mama Doris, Ma'am, natapdap ako pala. Di mo na ako love. And then she responded like a rap queen. Naawa na, tingin wala ka namin katoon. So don't ever dare to crack a joke on your grandmother, okay? Okay, so, yeah. So, ma'am and ma'am, thank you for all the understanding and sacrifices you have done, not just for me, but for the 5 of us. You miss it, ma'am? Okay. Thank you. To my tatay ninyong, Dads Roger and Papa Wawe, thank you for keeping me near in the words of God, for teaching me to seek first His wisdom before the wisdom of the world, and to trust not only on my heart and mind, but also in His will. Thank you for the love, knowledge, and support. Thank you, Pa, for helping me in my science investigatory project that I was able to finish it within 1 month. Thank you so much, Pa. You know, that's the advantage when you have a father who's good at things. So to my 5 homies, Bro Yel, Bro Herm, Bro Gab, Love and Jinjin, thank you for giving me inspiration to carry on no matter how hard the battle is, because I know someday we can be together again. To Love and Jinjin, thank you for making your Moshi happy and for taking care of me when I'm sick. To my Tita Jolrich, thank you for loving me like your daughter. Thank you for the karaoke moments we spent together and for all the hugs and kisses. And I miss you so much. To my Tita Miguel, thank you so much, Ta, for the support you always give for me in everything I do at school. To my ever supportive Uncle Roger, words aren't enough to express how grateful I am for all the entire support you gave her, both morally and financially. This is also for you, Paul. And I say thank you for every lessons I've learned from my teachers from grade 7 up to now, especially to Sir Mehinay, Sir Jasnes, Sir Dulce, Sir Tayoba, Sir Dilhensya, Sir Smolder, Miss Evangelio, Miss Verayo, Miss Veloso, Miss Bantilan, Ma'am Bagyos, and Miss Arhel. To the woman with great wisdom, love and compassion in her heart, to the woman who taught me the real essence of competition, to the one who had been a compassionate guidance counselor to every FIan, Miss Alicia Orata, Ma'am, thank you for taking time and sharing us your love experiences, insights, and lessons, and for being our friend. To Ma'am Minya Mascalino,